got the drip, you need to come and see. She switching up her hair, her makeup stay on fleek. Got croquet on her hips, she never miss a beat. She showing off her style with a new video this week. Naomi, I'm Marie, Naomi, I'm Marie, Naomi, I'm Marie, Naomi, I'm Marie. Naomi got the drip, you need to come and see. She showing off her style with a new video this week.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, Naomi, and I'm back with another video. Before we get into this video, make sure you subscribe down below, press the subscribe button, tap the bell so you can be notified when I post a new video. So today's video is going to be 10 helpful tips so that you can become an expert crocheter in no time. So if you guys would like to know the secret, the tea, the scoop, and all of that, make sure you keep on watching. Just a quick FYI, none of these are in any particular order, so make sure you watch the whole video so you know. So first thing on my list is gonna be experimenting. And when I say experimenting, this means getting a pair of clothing that you own, a favorite top, pants, shorts, skirt, and just mocking up the same exact thing. When you do it, it can be kind of scary in the beginning, but it's literally a part of the process. As you begin to do it more often, you'll get more comfortable with it, and then you'll feel like you can do almost anything. I first started off experimenting and I made a bralette. If you're a beginner, I wouldn't suggest doing a bralette as your first project, but if you are hard-headed like me, I started off doing a bralette, and from there I just kept going from like crazy stuff, dresses, pants, and one-piece outfits. Like once you complete that, like you're gonna feel unstoppable. If you're a beginner, I highly suggest that you start off with simple things like scrunchies or headbands or maybe even a hat, just because sometimes you can stress yourself out if you don't know immediately what to do, what stitches you're following and counting, honestly, believe it or not. Also, just another quick FYI, I'm starting a beginner's crochet series on my channel. So if you do want to see that and you want to learn how to crochet, stay tuned, because I'm going to be doing everything from like ground one, from a basic chain to your single crochet, half, double crochet, all of that good stuff. So like I said, if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe. Second thing on my list is going to be explore different types of hooks. There are so many different types of hooks in the world. I've honestly bought my fair share of hooks. I bought a good amount of hooks that I thought I would like, but I actually didn't end up liking. It's all about what your hand is used to. So personally, I buy my hooks from Hobby Lobby. They have little wooden pieces. They're about $3 to $5 maybe, if even that. These are the main hooks that I always use. Like I never go outside of these 3 hooks, which is my E hook, my C hook, and my 7 hook. That doesn't have a letter, but it's okay. Like I said, I go between these 3 hooks all the time. Personally, I just feel like the way the wood is, I'm able to quickly like roll somehow. I don't even know. Some people are comfortable without this. Some people prefer the rubber. It honestly just depends on what you're comfortable. So like I said, you're gonna experiment with a good amount of hooks. Just because I use a certain hook and it works for me does not mean that it'll work for you. So actually take your time, explore the different types of hooks that there are, and you know, try them. Next on my list is going to be to practice. I cannot stress enough how much like practicing is important. A lot of people would expect to just, you know, learn how to crochet and then within like maybe a month or 2 be at the level that I'm at. Honestly, I didn't get to this level if it wasn't for practicing. I've spent many days, every day, crocheting many different things. So practicing is going to be very important if you want to perfect your craft. And honestly, just because I say practice, this does not mean that it's going to take you years to accomplish this. It could take you a few months, but this means you actually have to put in the time. What you put in is what you'll get out. So if you're not putting in the time to actually practice on your craft, your results are obviously going to show for it. Next on my list is going to be don't be afraid to unravel. And when I mean don't be afraid to unravel, this means don't be afraid to rip out your work. If you mess up, it's okay to pull it out sometimes. Yes, you might be upset. You might find yourself a little bit discouraged, but honestly, sometimes when you pull it out and you take that extra 5 minutes just to redo what you needed to do, you're actually gonna appreciate your work a lot more. I notice sometimes when I work on my projects, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so close to the finish. I don't want to restart. I don't want to rip anything out. But fast forward to when I take a few minutes out of my day to just go back and redo it, I actually appreciate my work a lot more and it comes out a lot better. So don't be afraid to rip out your work, especially if you're a beginner. It happens to everybody, I promise. So next on my list is going to be to wash your hands. As simple and crazy as this sounds, you don't know how many times I've started a project and I hadn't washed my hands. I mean, I washed my hands, but like I hadn't washed my hands before I started my project. And then like my hands just ended up getting sweaty and clampy and like everything does not flow as well. Versus if you start with freshly washed hands, you dry your hands, your yarn is gonna move more smooth through your fingers and you're not gonna be freaking out about your tension. So wash your hands. Next on my list is going to be to make crochet friends. Now, if you're in a certain area, you may feel like a lot of people around you don't crochet, especially if you're my age, just because like people look at me being 21 as a bad thing for me to crochet when it's not. However, there are many different local yarn stores. For example, where I live, I go to different local yarn stores and I'm sitting in there and I crochet with other people from like various ages, from like my age to like 70 plus years old. It's honestly the greatest thing when you're able to sit there and bond with other people who have the same interests as you, as well as you're able to ask questions. Honestly, if you're not a part of the Chasing Sunrays Sun Clan group on Facebook, I'm gonna need for you to go ahead and join the group. There's literally like maybe over 2,000 women in there, women and men. Sorry, let me correct myself. And everybody just shares their work in there. You're able to ask questions, helpful tips, and honestly, like it's just one big supportive ass. One big supportive family. Excuse my French. But yeah, it's like one big supportive family, and honestly I love everybody in that group, and majority of them are already subscribed to my channel, so if y'all see this, shout out to you. Number 7 on my list is going to be avoid switching hooks on your project. Now when I say avoid switching hooks, if it's intended in your like project that you're working on, okay, but if you're a beginner, don't go from a 3.75 hook to a size 7 hook. Oh wait, sorry, yeah, I said what I said. Don't switch like that, because y'all honestly mess up like the way the holes are and how everything looks. If you use this type of hook, a smaller hook, your work's gonna come out really neat and tight, versus if you use this hook, it's gonna come out very spacious. So just be cautious when you're doing that. Number 8 is gonna be the placement of your yarn. Everybody has a completely different way of holding their yarn. Some people wrap it over and do all that funky stuff. It's solely up to you, like I said, and what is comfortable for you. I'll be sharing a video with you guys, showing you guys how I place my yarn. You do not wanna place your yarn too complicated within your hands so that it messes up your tension, just enough so that you have control over what you're doing. Number 9 is going to be take time to learn new stitches. If you're a beginner, please do not like immediately just jump into it and not learn your stitches. That's what I did, and honestly I had some complications within my journey of crocheting. I highly suggest you actually take time, practice each stitch. Like I said, I'm doing a beginner series, so I'll be teaching like everything. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not subscribed, but take the time to learn each different stitch, your half double crochet, your single crochet, your chain stitch, just so you're not confused when you're working on a project and you don't have any idea what you're doing. Along with learning your stitches, I want to say count your stitches. If you do not count your stitches, that is like the most important thing if you could do anything. Make sure you count your stitches, because when you don't count your stitches, your work can come out very big when it was intended to be small, or like consistent, or it can come out very small when it was intended to be big. You need to always count your stitches. Number 10 is going to be switch hooks when necessary. As I said before, try not to do it during your projects, but on the back of every yarn packaging, it has like a suggested size hook. So honestly, you could pay attention to that, or you don't have to, honestly, because I don't pay attention to the back. I use what I want to use, which is mainly my E-hook. For all of my clothes, I use the E-hook. But that's gonna be my 10 helpful tips. Like I said, I am gonna be doing a beginner series on my channel, so make sure you subscribe, become a part of my crochet community. And that's gonna be all. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace out.